or manage your personal finances? Your search stops right here. Join Mukonki Mukonkela from Inside Partners Africa every Tuesdays at 0720 hours on the Dalama Insights Business Show, a program that gives you the best and most practical, actionable insights.
Yes, you're in the right place. Good morning to you, tuned in to Ndalama Insights. My name is Lina Zulu, sitting in for Leslie Sinyangwe, and today we're diving into a topic that affects a lot of us: how black tax impacts your savings and investments. For those that are not familiar with the term black tax, it refers to the financial responsibility that many black professionals feel towards supporting their extended family members. While this practice stems from a place of love and cultural duty, it can actually significantly impact one's ability to save and invest for the future. So, to help us unpack this complex issue, we're joined once again by our regular guest and financial expert from Inside Partners, Mukonki Mukonkela. Welcome back to the show, Mukonki, after the long weekend.
Good morning, Lena. How are you? How was the long weekend?
Great. It was tiring. We were at the show like every other day. Up to yesterday, I'm exhausted.
You must be.
I'm
I didn't
exhausted.
find time to go to the agriculture show, but I could see the traffic around the area that I live. Monday, he was like, wow, things are happening, eh?
Yeah, it's I think it's one of the highlights of the year that even a lot of young people look forward to, and
Yeah.
businesses as well.
Yeah.
So I hope people got their bag, like secure the bag,
Yeah, secure it.
especially for businesses. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I hope they did, eh?
I really hope so too. All right, so let's start with the basics, Mukonki.
Mm.
Can you explain to our listeners what exactly black tax is and why it's called that? Why is it black, not white tax?
That's a nice one. Black tax.
Mhm.
It's a topic that I've heard quite a lot, and black tax is a word that normally affects the African community or black people. That's why it's referred to as black tax, and it's a tax because some people don't feel like they should be paying it, but they are
Mm.
obligated to. So this black tax is a payment that you give to your family members, perhaps your parents, because they raised you and you're now, working or you're earning an income in whatever way. So you feel obligated to give back to your family because they raised you. So that is what black tax is about. It is about giving back. And for me, I like to extend this definition, Lina, actually to everywhere. Everywhere you go, as long as you are working, you're earning an income, everyone feels obligated for you to give them something. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Give me, Mukongi, you're doing really well. Give me something. So exactly, you're happening. So
Yeah.
you need to give me a little bit. And you see this even where you're working. Perhaps maybe you're building a house or you are running a business and people think you've got so much money that they feel like it's your obligation to take care of us as well. So that is what black tax really is about. It's about sending back. In fact, the origin of this apparently, but I've seen this happening in all over African countries where we've had breadwinners, Lina. But apparently, the origin of the word black tax stems from South Africa, where Africans who are in rural areas used to go to urban towns like Johannesburg and Cape Town, and then would need to send money back to their villages and all of that. But in fact, this has always happened in Africa. I know every family has had a breadwinner, somebody who's broken the chain perhaps of poverty, and then everyone now is looking at them to provide for their needs. So that is what black tax is about. It's an obligation for you to take care of your relatives, even if you're not really, interested. It's not an actual tax. I know there's the word tax that is attached to it, right? So people might think, is it ZRA?
Yeah.
Is ZRA going to come for me to ask me for
For
black
black
tax?
tax.
It has nothing to do with ZRA. This is it's called a tax because you're not really it feels like an obligation, because taxes are normally an obligation. They are a legal requirement. You have to pay tax. It's a legal requirement. So black tax feels like that to some.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The gun pointed to your head, you're supposed to, you must pay this, you must pay. All right, thank
exactly.
you for that very simple explanation. Now,
Mm.
why do you think this practice is so prevalent in our communities?
We are Africans, Lina, and something that I appreciate about our Africanness is the fact that we like to take care of each other. So culturally, we live in communities, and in communities we help each other. So naturally, as Africans, we are so. I'm sure you felt this. For me, I have felt this, unlike other. I know that the rest has also maybe do it in their own way, but I feel as Africans, we create very strong communities and we feel obligated to help each other, especially in the past. I mean, now it's dying out slowly, but I hope we can maintain this culture of, creating a community and helping each other. So it stems from our Africanness, I think, our
Okay.
culture,
Mm-hmm.
and also just the fact that majority Africans our incomes are really very low, and we don't have access to a lot of social amenities. And so it is our communities, it is our families that tend to play that role of providing for our family social needs, especially those that have broken through and are able to earn an income. So they feel like obligated to take care of the social needs of their entire extended family. And also because majority Africans earn low income. So if you find one person in your family who's able to earn income, and everybody's looking up to them, that becomes like an obligation to take care of us. But then it has positive and negative. If you look at this, it actually helps to strengthen the communities. Families are happier because we've got somebody that we can rely on. But then for an investor, it also has an impact on what you can save and what you can invest, especially if
Right.
you're a young professional starting out, maybe starting a family. You're also trying to build your own family and save and invest. That also has an adverse impact.
It takes its toll.
Yes, it does
Takes
take
its toll.
it does take it toll.
Very valid justifications, I must say. Yeah, but now let's get to the heart of what we're talking about today.
Mhm.
How does this black tax now impact an individual's ability to save and invest?
It impacts savings and investments in quite a number of ways, Lena. One way is the reduced income.
Mhm.
And if you don't pay attention to your savings and your investments, you might not even realize what is holding you back from making progress in your life. Sometimes we give and we feel like it's not a lot, it's just a 500 kwacha, it's just 1,000. But in fact, that could be what is dragging you, and you never seem to make progress. You might have seen people that say, but I've been working for years, but I don't seem to make any headways. Why? Perhaps you give too much in terms of black tax to your family, to your community, to anyone. And there are people that are, community leaders, or people in the communities actually look to them. Can you see Mr. Piri over there?
Yep.
He can help us,
He's the one
with
that
that
helps.
wedding, with that
Yeah, he
funeral.
helps everyone.
So that's also another form of black tax. So it reduces your income that you can save and invest. And also because some people are too, they want to help, but then they might actually end up borrowing even to fund family members' responsibility so that they don't look bad. I don't want to look like I don't have the money. In fact, others is even a prestige thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Mr. Piri always gives. That uncle is always good, but then you never know. Maybe it could actually be borrowing. And so that is how black tax affects your savings and your investments. It in summary, Lena, it reduces your disposable income and prevents you from taking or making investments that are required. Even generally, if you're able to save and invest, you can help your family eventually. So you need to watch out how much you're contributing towards this black tax. And for you to get that awareness, you need to do some kind of budgeting, check your expenditure and how much goes to your family, and then see how you can either reduce on that amount and increase your savings and investments.
Right. Does it have any emotional impact?
Yes, it does. The pressure of trying to please your family, that pressure. I said, for some people, it's like a prestige thing.
Yeah.
Because my family has always looked up to me. I can't disappoint them. So even where, Lena, you cannot afford certain things, you feel stressed, you go out of your way, and that might actually affect you also emotionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we're taking notes, and a lot of people can actually relate to
Mm.
what we're discussing. So it's not all negative now, is it? Are there any potential benefits to this practice of black tax?
The benefits are there, Lena. As I've said, we build stronger family units because we are if I'm able to help my sister, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, we have a stronger family. And also, just our cultural preservation. We really need to maintain our culture as Africans, where we've built strong communities. But even having said this, we need to ensure we are actually budgeting for this. I mean, I'm using the word budget again. Every time I talk about budget, I feel like, oh no. But then we need, in other words, we need to plan for these taxes. So now that we know, particularly those people that have been following the Ndalama Insights radio program, all of a sudden your family is going to see you holding back. Maybe you used to be a giver, right? Now, because you've gained all these insights of save money, invest money, all of a sudden, this giver now is being stingy from nowhere. So you need to prepare your family to say, in as much as I need to take care of your needs, I also need to build some savings and investments that will ultimately help all of us. And so the benefits are there, but we need to set boundaries also and communicate those boundaries to our relatives and anyone who looks up to us, and so that we can start building real wealth that will eventually take care of all of us.
Right. Generational wealth.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Interesting perspective, Mokonti. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll look at strategies for balancing black tax with personal financial goals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Ndalama Insights.
You are still listening to the Ndalama Insights Business Show, brought to you by Insight Partners Africa. Leave your comment or question on Mukonkela's YouTube channel. The Ndalama Insights, turning your challenges into actionable insights.
Issues of money, you're covered with Ndalama Insights every Tuesday on Radio 4 of the ZNBC. And today we're looking at black tax, how it impacts savings and investments, with our financial expert here, Mukonki Mukonkela. So before the break, we looked at how the impact of black tax, what it really is and where it comes from. Now let's go to solutions. What strategies can our listeners employ to balance their family obligations with black tax and personal financial goals?
Thank you, Lena. Very, very important. And one thing you could consider, if you are one person that really pays this black tax and it's affecting you, one thing you need to consider. There are people, unfortunately, now. There are lucky people out there that don't pay black tax.
No, you're right.
but it actually affects a lot of us. So one thing we can do is set boundaries and communicate these boundaries to our relatives. You need to do this with with empathy, knowing that these people have always relied on you. But then you need to have this discussion and clearly say or communicate that I want to save money so that I can acquire assets that will ultimately take care of all of us as a family. And for me to do this, I will need to reduce on how much I've been giving you in the past. Don't entirely get rid of the money that you send to your family. Perhaps consider reducing it and explain why you're reducing it. Add to that also educating them financially. So how can you also build your wealth? Give them some financial tips. I mean, you've been actively listening to this program, some things that they can also do. So how can they also become financially literate so that they can also take care of their own personal needs? Because the Chinese say, or is it the Asians that say, teach a man to fish and you always be feeding them, right? Is it that, or give a man a fish and you always need to give them that fish or feed them? But if you teach them how to fish, they will learn on their own and they will feed themselves, right? That is the essence of what you're trying to do. So also teach them some financial literacy tips that can help them to manage their own personal finances. But then if you come from a family with other siblings or relatives, you could also consider pooling your financial resources. So this person just doesn't the family doesn't just rely on you as an individual, but then as a family you can create maybe an account that you can call maybe black tax account.
I know, right? Very good. Yeah.
I don't think you should call it black tax account. I think just call it maybe family fund. Call it a family fund. And as a family, pool resources. So we are contributing a proportion of your salary. Let's say 1% of your salary goes to this family account or fund account. So, and this account will be utilized for anything that the family needs. So it is not just you who's paying this black tax, but the entire family is actually contributing.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's those are the tips that you can utilize, Lina.
Excellent, fantastic, and very practical tips that you have shared, Mukonki. Thank you. I particularly like the idea of empowering family members that
Yeah.
can all generate income together. Now,
Yeah.
can you elaborate on how listeners might approach this?
So as I've said, I think for me the three big tips that I can help you to in terms of how you can implement is pool the resources if you can, and also educate your family members. How do you do this? You can refer them to this radio program. This Indalama Insights radio program is always on every Tuesday. Lina, come rain, come sunshine.
Yeah. This one is very, very obvious.
They can also learn how to manage their money and what you're trying to help them, because if you continue giving them, really actually making worsening the situation for them and worsening the situation for them. So if you really love your relatives and your family, particularly those younger ones that are able to work, maybe the elderly, we can say, okay, perhaps we need to create a fund for them. But for younger ones that are able to work, all they need is empowerment. Yeah. So greetings to Mr. Steven Banda, Matthew Njovu, and everybody online. They're saying great topic. So
beautiful, nice.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for coming through, Mukonki, and for always giving us insightful thoughts. Thank you to our listeners also for tuning in to this important discussion on Ndalama Insights today. Remember that financial health is a journey, not a destination. It's about making informed decisions, setting health boundaries, and finding a balance that works for you and your family. So like Mukonki has said, come rain, come shine. Ndalama Insights always runs on Tuesday just after our network news at 0720. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lina. It's always a pleasure doing this program with you. Eh?
Yeah, same here. So I've learned a lot on black tax. I hope they were listening. Until next week at the same time, stay close to them.